Okay, so balancing equations. We've gone over this several times. It's quite all right. These are skill sets that need to be worked on and worked on and worked on. So let me give you some examples, okay? We have an equation, and that equation has blank spots that I'm circling with my highlighter, where we're going to put numbers, whole numbers. They have to be whole numbers. And the purpose for those is to balance the elements on each side of this reaction arrow. Okay? There are no states written. Again, a properly, perfectly college-level balanced equation will have correctly written molecules with states such as solid, liquid, gas, and aqueous. And it will also have the lowest whole number ratio for the coefficients. But what we're focusing on is just let's get the whole number ratios for coefficients. So what I'm going to do is draw a squiggly line. The squiggly line is a divider. That's all it is. I'm going to divide the reactant side, which is on the left, from the product side, which is on the right. I'm going to identify the players, which are the atoms. We have Si, we have O, we have H, and we have F. Now, they're not written in the same order on the product side. That's fine. Write them in the same order that you wrote them originally. This is bookkeeping. I want Si straight across from Si. I want O straight across from O, H straight across from H, and F straight across from F. I want the simplest, cleanest way to see that my numbers are matching. So there's my Si, there's my O, there's my H, and there's my F. So we've identified the atoms. And you always have the same atoms on each side. Not the same order, but the same quantity, because elements are not created or destroyed by chemistry. So, time for counting. I have 1 Si, and I have 2 O's, and I have 1 H, and I have 1 F. On my other side, I have 1 Si, I've got 1 O, don't ask me why my screen's doing that. I have 2 H's, and I have 4 F's. There's all kinds of clues and tricks to balancing equations. And the more you do, the easier it gets. But one common expression is H and O last. Okay? H's and O's last. H's before O's, but do those last if possible. That's always an if possible. So, here we go. I look at what we have. My S's are already balanced. How do I know? I have the same number on each side. My O's are not balanced, but I'd like to save that for last. My H's, not balanced. I'd like to save that for last. My F's, not balanced. Let's balance those. So, I'm going to put my finger right here on the screen. And you probably won't be able to see a mark. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to make sure I'm focusing on the letter F. I want to work only on F. If I have 4 F's right there on the product side, I want 4 F's on my reactant side. There is only one place where I can find F's, right there. So for me to get 4 of them, I've got to put a 4 in front. We can never put any numbers down here because that changes the compound or the molecule. H2O, water. We can drink it. We can wash our hair in it. H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. Don't drink it. And unless you want your hair to be all messed up and blondish yellow, don't wash your hair in it. So just by putting a 2 there, it's going to mess everything up. So focus on only the parts in front. They're called coefficients. That's the only thing we can add. So back to the problem. I had 4. I want 4. This is the only place I can find the letter F. So I put a 4 there. Now, when I did that, I messed up something. My H is connected to that. It's HF, which means this is no longer 1. So I cross it out. By the way, my finger, if you can't see a dot, is still on F. I did not move it because I'm focusing on F. I balanced F. But now I have to account for anything I messed up. And I did. I messed up H's. I now have 4 H's. So I balanced F. I adjusted for the element that I messed up, the H that was attached to the F. I didn't do anything with the SI. I didn't do anything with the O's. That move, just like in chess or checkers or dominoes, is done. So now I pick my finger up. So I look. My SIs are still balanced. My O's are not. My H's are not. But my F's are. So what I want to do is I want to balance my H's because H's and O's are last and H's before O's. So I put my finger right here. I'm focusing on just the H's. I want them to be balanced. If I have 4 on one side, I cross this out. I want 4 on that side. The only way for me to get 4 H's is right here because that's the only place my H's are. They come in bundles of 2. So for me to want and get 4 H's, I've got to put a 2 in front of that because 2 times 2 is 4. So I just balanced my H's. My H's are good, but I messed up my O's. It's okay. I'm focusing on H's. I cross out this 1 because it's no longer 1, and 2 times 1 is going to be 2. I'm going to have 2 O's. So I put the number 2 there. My H's are balanced. I messed up my O's, but I recorded it as a 2. I fixed, I marked it down. So that move is done. So I pick my finger up. And look, the equation's balanced. I have 1 SI and 1 SI. I have 2 O's and 2 O's. I have 4 H's and 4 H's, and I have 4 F's and 4 F's. That's how you balance equations.